So I watched the Bumblebee movie. Yeah! Hey guys and gals, it's me Subday Rocket, and today we're going to be reviewing Bumblebee. So of course, as always, we're going to start off with a non-spoiler review, and then we're going to go on to some spoilers. The Michael Bay directed Transformers films have been known to be what is going on. But this movie is different because it's not directed by Michael Bay, it's actually directed by The Dark Knight. Oh, sorry, Travis Knight. And I actually find out about this way before any trailers came out. So yes, you can say that I was pretty excited for this film and how different it's going to be to the previous films. I'm so excited, I just can't breathe. Remember when I did that Transformers Revenge of the Fallen review to celebrate this movie? It's like all the complaints I had for that film was completely gone in this film. Like, remember the time when I said that the action sequences are too messy and you can't really see what's going on, who's fighting who, and you know, it doesn't help all the models of the Transformers are overly complicated? Well, in this film, the Transformers designs are pretty clean. You can actually see them nice and clean. It's not overly complicated. And the action sequences are pretty clean. You can actually see what's going on, who's fighting who. So yeah, they kind of improved it in this film. Kinda. Of course they improved it. What am I saying? I don't want to go too deep into the human characters in this film. I want to say that for the spoiler review. But I'll say this right now. There's actually some pretty interesting characters in this film. They're actually characters that you'll be intrigued with. And they actually managed to share the spotlight with the Transformers. It's not like they got all the spotlight to themselves. They actually have a good balance between the Transformers and the humans and who will be featured on the screen. So yes, I really like how they, what can I say it? Like, structured how the human characters play a role in the film. That's basically the best way I can put it, the best, shortest way to put it. So yeah, that's basically it about the human characters without spoiling anything. And you don't need to watch all those Michael Bay films to watch this film. You can just watch this film in its entirety without watching all those 5 films. It's alright, it's a prequel. It comes before all of those films ever happened. So yes, and you will still be able to understand what's going on, even more understandable than all those other films. So yes, you'll be alright if you just watch this film. You can just watch this as a standalone movie. It's actually pretty alright with that, if that's the case for you, if you want to do that. So don't be scared to watch this film. You won't be cross-eyed when you see the film, or you won't get sick watching the film. So yes, it's pretty good. You'll have a nice fun time watching it. It won't hurt you, and not a single bit. So without further ado, let's go way more deeper into it, of course, with the spoiler warning. Cue the spoiler warning. No, the spoiler warning isn't broken. I just intentionally put it back in for this review, you know, for fun, since that song's actually in this movie. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a prequel to the Bay films, and this is about Bumblebee and how he becomes the man he is today. Well, not the man, the robot he is today. Well, more in the attribute department, more in the personality department. I'll get to that later. So yeah, I can see that, you know, his attributes are forming and all that, and how we get to see him on the screens in the Bay films. You know, he got his voice removed. Well, he loses his voice, I mean, and then he managed to learn how to speak through the radio later on, and how he managed to get the name Bumblebee in general is also there. So yeah, you can see the attributes forming there for a Bumblebee, but for the personality, I kind of feel like it's a bit unfortunate. I kind of feel like they could have done something there. I kind of feel like they could have formed the Bumblebee personality at the end of the film. He starts off with, you know, him losing his memory at the start of the film, and then he kind of feels unsure of himself after he loses memory. I kind of feel like when he spent time with the main human character, was just Charlie Watson, I kind of feel like he could have formed that personality and get to see that coming into fruition at the end of the film. Maybe he did, I'm not sure, it's unclear at the end of the film, but it's kind of fortunate that we didn't actually get to see it fully on in the film. So that's a bit unfortunate, but I'm still alright with it. So let's finally talk about the human characters in this film. First, we got our main star Charlie Watson, and she's not just there to look pretty on screen. But that doesn't mean she doesn't look good on screen. She actually looks pretty good on screen, even if she's a mess. I don't know if it's just me, or maybe it's just the makeup artist actually is pretty good. I don't know. Anyway, as I was saying, she actually has a pretty great personality in this film. I also like that she has a pretty good role in this film. The thing about her is that her father passed away and her mother already moved on from, you know, his father, but she hasn't moved on from his dad. I'm seeing that a lot of times here. But yeah, but later on when Bumblebee comes into the picture, she actually managed to connect with somebody ever since, you know, his father passed away, which is of course a long time. So yeah, it's an interesting concept. I like the idea and all that. Sure, it's not the most original concept, but I feel like this nice simple plot is what we need right now for the Transformers, you know, films and all that, for the Transformers fans and all those, because, you know, after all those Bay films, I kind of feel like this simple plot is appreciated. So yeah, I appreciate this simple plot. Of course, these two are not the only characters in this film. We also got a character named Memo. I don't know what's up with that name. It was the 80s. I was never born there. Maybe that's a thing. I guess that name's acceptable. I don't know. It's a bit of an odd name just to me. But anyways, as I was saying, he kind of has the most of the funny moments in this film. It's not like the Bay films where it's kind of like annoying sometimes, but it's alright. It's actually pretty nice. I actually have some laughs come out from this guy. But yeah, he's alright. He kind of acts like a love interest. Well, not acts. He technically is a love interest to Charlie, but they don't really get together at the end of the film. They just become like friends at the end of the film, like good friends and all that. I feel like it's alright. Again, these simple ideas feels like they should be appreciated right now with the Transformers fans and all that after all of those Bay films. I kind of feel like these simple ideas are should be appreciated. Of course, we gotta have Decepticons in this film, and we got two main ones, which to be honest, I kind of feel like they're forgettable and all that. I know these might be iconic Transformers characters. I'm not really sure because I'm not fully in the knowledge of Transformers to know, of course. But yeah, when I see the movie, they're kind of forgettable. They're just there because somebody needs to fill in the role of bad guy. Well, main Decepticon bad guy, and I don't think Megatron should be in this movie. For this simple movie, I don't think Megatron should be in this role, especially because Optimus Prime doesn't show up that often here. He only shows up at the beginning, somewhere in the middle, and just at the end. So yeah, I guess they're just there to be Decepticons being bad guys for this film, which I guess it's alright, but yeah, they're kind of forgettable. But although these two Decepticons aren't alone, because they actually asked the military to help them find Bumblebee, to trick them that they're the good guys and Bumblebee's the bad guy. So they actually got help from the military, and their leader is actually John Cena. Dun, 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 dun. I really like John Cena's portrayal as what I like to call as Mr. Military Man. Sure, it's over the top sometimes, but I kind of feel like they're intentionally doing that because this is kind of referencing the whole old cartoon back in the day, the Transformers old cartoon. Maybe they're trying to portray that. Maybe they're doing it on purpose, but overall, I think it's a fun idea. I can kind of get a kick out of this whole Mr. Military Man here in the 80s. But yeah, it's alright. Plus, we get to see a lot of character. Well, not a lot of character, just some character at the end where he kind of makes sure Bumblebee leaves before the military finds him. I mean, the rest of the government finds him. So yeah, I guess he turns out to be a alright character at the end. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Mr. Military Man. Yes, I forgot his name. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Military Man. So overall, I really like this film. Sure, there are some simple parts in this film, but again, as I mentioned before, it's well appreciated after those Bay films. So yeah, and if you think about it for a second, Bumblebee is kind of like the opposite of Revenge of the Fallen. It's all my complaints that I said before, all my complaints are completely absent in this film. And basically all the characters in this film is also kind of the opposite, plus even the number of Transformers in this film. We got dozens of Autobots, well, not dozens, but a lot of Autobots in Revenge of the Fallen, and now in this film it's only like one Bumblebee and only two Decepticons starring in this film. So yeah, it's kind of like the opposite. It's so weird, but yet I feel like it's really appreciated again. So yeah, maybe one day down the line, if they make a sequel, they improve on all this. Hopefully we'll get a sequel. So yeah, they'll improve on all this since we now know that this is a pretty good idea of what they should do for the Transformers franchise moving forward. So one day down the line they'll do another one. Maybe something similar to this, I don't know. But yeah, maybe hopefully that's the case with Paramount right now, the people working on this Transformers franchise. So please, hopefully, to the people, I'm not sure if Paramount will ever watch this, but yeah, hopefully that's what you guys are doing right now. Hopefully, if you're not, then maybe it's best you should take into account what my ideas are. So yeah, that's all for this review. So until then guys, I forgot. Sorry about that, I kind of forget my regular routine with this. So with that said, alright guys and girls, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, this is not the last video of 2018. There's one more video that I'm gonna post. Well, one last review of course. And I already teased it back in the Aquaman review, so I'm not gonna mention it right now. So until then guys, rock it on and see you in the last review of 2018.